And we'll just make sure we've got everything here. Happy first day of spring, as everyone's seeing on the screen. And for some reason, hey Trish, do I have the controls? If not, could you phone to me? As I am stuck. So technology is a good thing when it works. That's for sure. Hang in there, folks. We'll get this taken care of. Today's webinar is actually going to be a little bit of a review from the last couple of weeks' webinar. Here we go. All right. Thanks, Tish. Appreciate it. Couldn't do this without you. But here's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to talk about today really the psychology of the consumer folder presentation. And it's so important, ladies and gentlemen. I'd love to hear some feedback, actually, at the end of this webinar of really what the consumer folder has done for you. Darcy was nice enough to forward me an email from TJ out of North New Jersey, an executive director out there, and he's just absolutely fallen in love with the consumer folder presentation, and it really does work, ladies and gentlemen. You just got to get your arms around it. You've got to practice it. But today's webinar, we're really going to talk about the psychology, the little 1%ers that really help you become very successful to not only reach executive director, but hit the six-figure ring. So speaking of psychology, let's go ahead and give everybody a flu shot here, especially, kind of appropriate, I guess, that we just finished up a pretty interesting winter all across the country. And we don't talk about this enough. And I really want to spend just a few minutes here really inoculating not only our brand new associates, which first off I want to welcome you to our webinar. If this is the first time you're joining us, congratulations. But I also want to inoculate those associates that have been with us for a while, because as you can see here, the purpose of a flu shot, right, is that when someone comes around with the flu, your body's immune system has already built up a resistance so that you're not going to get the flu. And so I'm going to actually read with you here. Some of it's not, I couldn't fit it here on the screen, but I'm going to read with you really, it's so important. We don't talk about this enough, and I think we should, that, ladies and gentlemen, not everyone's going to see what we're doing at Legal Shield. And that's absolutely 100% fantastic. Okay, we see it. Okay, myself, I'll give you myself as an example. I didn't see Legal Shield right away. I did not. My brother, who is actually an attorney, entertainment attorney, he actually shared with me the service. Didn't see it. I was this corporate America guy, and no, I don't do those kind of things. And ladies and gentlemen, what did it for me, which we'll definitely talk about here in a few minutes, is the service, is actually utilizing this service. And that's what did it for me. So don't get bent out of shape, ladies and gentlemen, when we're out there in the field sharing our Legal Shield business with folks, because not all are going to see it. And I know it's kind of amazing. We see it now. We see the value of this service. We see, like, wow, why would you not have this? But again, ladies and gentlemen, what I probably see people do is how they approach people. Okay, and there is a right way to approach people. Okay, very, 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 very important. And what you don't want to do is just kind of blurt out to people, hey, have you heard of Legal Shield? Or you want to make some money. Folks, those two things do not work. Okay, absolutely do not work. What we want you to do is make sure you get properly trained so that you don't blow that first chance, of a good impression. And we know you're excited. We love the excitement. Here I am, 16 years. I'm still excited to share this business. But you almost have to be like 007. You've got to be calm, you've got to be cool, and you've got to be collected. Okay? And so 007, he comes into a situation, he's calm, he's cool, he's collected, but inside his head, he's figuring out, if you meet somebody, where we can wrap Legal Shield around what they're already doing, but being professional about it. And it does take a little bit of a skill set to do that. So again, we want to make sure you have that flu shot. You know, that way our goal is to really set the appointments, not get into anything about this over the phone, because what you'll find out is if you don't have time to say everything, don't say anything, because it's not fair to your guests and it's really not fair to you. Okay, so again, the whole idea is that when we're calling people, asking them for help, you know, asking for their opinion, can we get together 15, 20 minutes, is exactly to set that appointment. Okay, we want to have that curiosity. And again, what I've probably seen, what the Hoffmans have seen, you know, the people that have been successful with Legal Shield, is that when people tell you no, N-O, it's not K-N-O-W. Okay, they're really, excuse me, it's actually K-N-O-W. When they say no, N-O, they really don't K-N-O-W enough about what Legal Shield is. See, everyone knows what dental insurance is and life insurance and health insurance, but, quote, legal insurance, K-N-O-W, never heard of it. It's got to be explained. It's got to be educated. That's why we get paid the way we get paid, folks. That's why we get paid so well. See, if all we had to do was hand out a flyer and someone could just read it, well, they'd probably pay us a couple bucks, you know, if that. But that's our skill strength. That's the value we bring to the marketplace, is this 40-year-old company, you know, absolutely revolutionizing the legal system, you know, bringing access to everyday folks to have access to attorneys without costing an arm and a leg, and that's our goal. Okay, so don't get freaked out if your friends, you know, your family doesn't see what we see. Again, this is the flu shot. I want to make sure that you know, because right now, you know, you probably have baby skin, and I want to make sure you have rhino skin. I want you to make sure you're bulletproof so that you don't let someone's words absolutely knock you out of the game, okay, because it's such a tragedy. And what we're going to talk about here just in a little bit is just the importance of surrounding yourself, you know, with those that are on the same mission as you. And that's what I love about the family, the ShieldNation family, Legal Shield. We've got some amazing people. They're on the same page. We're all on the same page because we need help. Okay, we've got a 3% market penetration. That's it. What does that mean in English? Out of 100 people, folks, 97 of them have no idea what Legal Shield is. That's called a marketer's dream, by the way. And you've got a 40-year-old plus company that stood the test of time, okay, yet our penetration is less than 3%. That's just a beautiful thing. Now, it's not always going to be that way. I share this to the team all the time, pretty much every day. It's a race. And if we're not out there letting people know you're the Legal Shield guy, you're the Legal Shield gal, well, guess what? They're going to go to somebody else. And probably the biggest thing I see is that, again, people don't see it fast enough. For whatever reason, they give up. And we've got to talk about your why. Okay, this is so huge as far as the psychology of your Legal Shield business is, why are you in this business? And if you'll write this down, the W, H, and Y really stands for what's hurting you. Okay, what's hurting you? And for everybody, it could be different. You know, it could be income. Man, Bob, you know, yeah, income. I could use an extra 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 a month. That's hurting me. You know, maybe it's the time. Yeah, Bob, I don't have enough time. God, I'd love to spend more time with my children, go to soccer, spend more time with my spouse. I'd love to have more time on vacations. That's hurting me. Okay, so again, folks, your why, just like it says here, when your why is big enough, you will find the how. And boy, is this ever so true, especially for myself in the early days, starting my Legal Shield business. Again, I had the negative dream stealers. I had the friends making fun of me. You know, why are you doing that thing? You left corporate America for that? You know, are you kidding me? And folks, I'm telling you, that kind of stuff, you know, used to weigh at you a little bit, but you've got to stand your ground. All right, you've got to stay plugged in to the people that, you know, have your success in mind, not the dream stealers. And really, again, we've got a form here, which, let me get out of this real quick. Let me see if I can get to it. But over on ShieldNation.com, we've got a tremendous form called your Dreams and Goals worksheet. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't filled out this sheet yet, please make sure today, make a big star, that you want to fill out this form. And it's really a fun form. Just like when we were kids, remember, just anything was possible. Unfortunately, as we become adults, life kind of beats us up a little bit. We start losing our dreams, which is so tragic. What we want you to do here really is start with this first column. Your reality, what's going on in your life as far as your home situation, your car, your career, things like that. Then we want to talk to you about your dream. Really, if we can show you how to get the money game out of the way, where would you be living? What would you be driving? What would you be doing? But the thing here, ladies and gentlemen, is right here, it's your habits. Those daily habits have got to change in order for you to hit that dream lifestyle. Okay? So again, this Dreams and Goal worksheet is available at ShieldNation under Documents. Please fill it out. Have it in front of you. In fact, mine's taped up here in my bathroom, so every morning, every night, I take a look at it through my medicine cabinet. My sponsor, my brother, he actually has a copy of this. I've actually sent a copy to Mr. Hoffman. So please, feel free to let people know, your dreams and goals. And again, this is what's going to keep you in the business. I absolutely guarantee it. Okay? So let's keep going here. Again, we've got to talk about the dreams. We've got to talk about just the importance of setting those goals. Here's what's interesting statistically. People who wrote down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them than the ones who don't. In fact, I think that number is actually a little low. Okay? And here's the biggie. Whatever you're thinking, folks, hey, beggar, okay, I tell you, Legal Shield is absolutely the vehicle for you. Whatever you're thinking, if you're thinking, oh, boy, I would just love to do 10 memberships this month. Think bigger. Why not 25? Why not 50? Okay? Oh, Bob, I'd love just to make another $500 this month. Forget that. How about 5,000? Add a zero to whatever you're thinking, because it's absolutely possible here with ShieldNation. Okay? Let's talk about really Shield Team 10. This is a great new concept that the Hoffmans have put together here for the ShieldNation organization. And what that simply means, ladies and gentlemen, is marketing 10 memberships a month. Okay? Last week on the webinar, the previous week here, I think that was March 13th, we learned about what one thing you have to do, okay, every day to become a Shield Team 10, to become an executive director, to really become one of the top income earners in this company. And that one thing a day is so simple, most people will miss it. It's just simply one presentation a day. Just one 15, 20, 25-minute presentation a day. Or if you're working full-time, hey, no problem, Saturday and Sunday, plenty of time to still fit in at least, your one presentation or 5 for the weekend, okay? What is that going to do, folks? Well, that's going to have you get into the right habit of doing at least 20 presentations a month at a 50% close, okay? Very generous, by the way. That's at least 10 sales for the month, okay? What does that do? Well, that qualifies you for Shield Team 10. And for that, now you're on your way to executive director. You're on your way to platinum, okay? But let's go back real quick, because again, we've got to go back to having that dream lifestyle. Getting the money game out of the way, having the time freedom, okay? Because again, most people are going to come up to me, come up to you, even yourself, say, hey, Bob, this sounds great, but I don't have enough time. And I like this little description here, because this is here in any given week is 168 hours in your week, okay? And how's that broken down? Well, we've got about 8 hours a day for sleeping. That's pretty generous. We've got, what do we got here? 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, for working, okay? We've got, another 35 hours just for miscellaneous, driving to work, eating, showering, very important, okay? Another, what's that, 5-7 hours a day for that. What are we left with, folks? We've got over 37 hours throughout Monday through Sunday to now pursue your dream, okay? Now build your dream instead of someone else's. And that's what this slide shares here. Again, is you've got to start having you think like you were a child again. You know, again, what would your life be like if you had an extra $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 coming into your household? My gosh, what would an extra $1,000 coming into your household do for you? In fact, I heard a statistic: an extra $500 a month coming into most people's households would absolutely keep them out of bankruptcy. Folks, that's 5 memberships right there. 5 memberships that we can help people not only improve their lives, but really keep them out of bankruptcy. And here's what I want to do is I want to just kind of share with you, again, what's out there, okay? And have some fun with this, folks. Here's just a website, you know. Consider your wish list fulfilled. You know, where would you be living? Where would you be eating? Okay, this is a beautiful, beautiful property in Georgia. I've never even heard of it, but I got an email here the other day, and I started looking at it, and I'm like, man, this is dream building stuff here, folks. This is what it's all about. You know, what if you didn't have to look at the right side of the menu before you looked at the left side of the menu? Okay, and you know what I'm talking about. What if you didn't have to look at the price first and then decide, can I afford that? Is my budget going to be able to handle this? Folks, we've got people in Legal Shield, you know, they're done. Those things are over. Okay? How about, you know, having some fun? You know, if you're a golfer, oh my gosh, can you imagine, you know, just going to some of the most beautiful golf courses out there? You know, again, this is that same complex in Georgia. I want you to dream build. I want you to, you know, why not? Why not you? And again, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to borrow from the future to enroll yourself in the activities today. Okay? It's so, so important. Here's another picture of this complex here. That's in Georgia. You know, absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. You know, why not, folks? Why not? Why not you? I mean, because we've got the vehicle. We know we can get it done. Last but not least, my wife and I, we happen to be foodies, and we just love going out to, you know, check out the food festivals, things that are out there. Again, why not you? We've got the vehicle. If you didn't know about Legal Shield, I'd say, yeah, now this may be a struggle. Folks, we've got a whole Profiles of Success book of page after page after page of people making 6 figures, you know, people making $250,000, $1 million, and the best part is they've got the time freedom to enjoy it, okay, with this vehicle called Legal Shield. So I share with you here these slides, again, to just get you to start thinking again. Just start having fun. You know, imagine we can get the money game out of the way, and you can start living your dream. I like this little comment real quick. For those of you that are on our audio portion, I'm too busy working on my own grass to notice if your grass is greener, okay? Folks, we've got the vehicle. We just got to get out there and let people know. So here, one of your whys to become an executive director. It may or may not. I don't know. You know, I trust it is, because it's not quite the executive director. It's not the title, although the title's pretty cool. You get to call into a special 800 number to corporate. You get recognized. You start making some beautiful overrides. Okay, executive director is very cool, but really it's what can executive director do for you? You know, at 100 sales, ladies and gentlemen, even at a $40 override, that's an extra $4,000 coming into your household per month. Okay, executive director is very, very cool. Platinum's really where you want to be. Okay, again, let me go back real quick to executive director. Okay, executive director is just simply you marketing 10 memberships and then working with a team who's marketing 10 memberships. Congratulations, that's 50 sales. You're executive director. This is not some kind of hocus pocus, you know, very kind of concept out there. It's very, very doable. Okay, does it involve work? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is not easy. Stay at home and hope somebody calls and, you know, hope somebody knocks on your door. This is called getting out of your comfort zone. You know, again, why are you going to get out of your comfort zone? Because I want to take the dream vacation. I want to have the time freedom. I want to have that retirement income coming in. Okay, real quickly, platinum. Again, platinum has not maybe even hit your ether, your consciousness, your subconsciousness, but I want to start addressing this to you because why not? Why not? Platinum world is the place to be. What's that going to take? It's going to take you and those 4 individuals, and then another, 4, 8, 12, another 16. So another total of 20, you and 20 folks, okay, marketing 10 memberships. Congratulations, you're at one of the absolute highest positions. We're talking $20,000-$25,000 a month, folks, okay? Absolutely. That's what Platinum's all about, okay? So from last week, we actually learned, and we keep learning about really our 4-step coaching model here with ShieldNation. Number 1 is you've got to use this service, especially if you're brand new. Today, would love for you to pick up the phone, call your attorney, just to find out if the phone works. Yesterday, I had a wonderful opportunity to sit down with a brand new associate of mine, Raji, out of the High Point, North Carolina market. He's brand new to Legal Shield. He absolutely loves what he's seeing here. But that's one of the first things we're going to have him do today is pick up the phone. He hasn't updated his will. And I want him to just see for himself, hey, this is pretty cool, to tap your app, have access to the attorneys, and not get a bill for that conversation. Okay? Oh, that's huge. That's absolutely amazing. Second thing is, once you're a satisfied customer, folks, it's so easy to then now share this service. Okay, this is the psychology of our service, why so many associates are successful, is because they're satisfied customers first. Then, just like we do with everything else in this world, we share good restaurants, we share good movies, we share good companies, good apps. We do this all the time. It's really a natural extension of what we do. We just want you to do the same thing with Legal Shield. Okay? You just bring it up. You just let people know it's out there. Next, we want to have you then coach. They say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Fantastic. There's where the coaching comes in. And then finally, duplication is the power to wealth. Okay? It's so important, folks. Keep things simple. Keep things duplicatable, because that's how you have a large organization. Inviting associates onto this webinar on a weekly basis, and getting them into the habit, is that duplicatable or what? Absolutely. I'll go back to Waji real quick. Waji, we got together here. We actually talked on the phone. He was interested in identity theft protection. I actually sent him a website because he was a little bit of a long distance for me here. He got online, loved what he saw. I followed up. Next, Mr. Carruthers was in town down in Charlotte. Waji came down and saw the big picture. And then the next day, what did I do? I did a 3-way call with my brother Jerry. So Jerry could kind of share his background and meet Waji, help answer questions. And then yesterday, we got together for lunch, and we started going through the training program, the checklist, and working on his list and things like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's completely duplicatable. Okay? How someone comes into the business, if you do it right, folks, they should be about 80% trained by the time they sign on the dotted line. Okay? So again, if you're doing things that, kind of a little off base, that's not a good thing, folks. We want to make sure that keeping it absolutely duplicatable. Okay? What's duplicatable? What's part of our process? It's working on that top prospecting sheet with that brand new associate, or even if you've been around. Okay? This is very important. This top star prospecting form is available in ShieldNation under documents. So important, ladies and gentlemen, to work with your new associate. Who's in their phone. Start filling this out. Don't prejudge, by the way. And what you want to really do is just kind of put check marks by the different areas here, the different traits where you may think, that this person has. If they're married, do they have teenage drivers? Do they own a home? Do they own a business? These are the little things. And what we want to do is we're going to call everybody, but why not call the 10 stars first, the 9 stars, the 8 stars, 7 stars? Again, what's that conversation going to be? Very simple. It's going to be, just started a new business. I'm excited about it. Could you help me out? Could we get together, 15, 20 minutes, whether to take you out to coffee, to tea, to lunch, whatever you'd like to do. I like to eat, so I do lunch. That's just my thing, okay? But again, folks, every day, can you make at least one presentation? Absolutely, okay? Next is we want to just kind of get into the psychology of the script, okay? And I'm going to actually show you how to find the script. Many of you probably don't even know, but we're going to have you go to ShieldNation.com. We're going to click the online training and document tab. We're going to log in if you've never logged in. We're going to go to new associate training. And then finally, we're going to go to selling the service, making a presentation. Okay? So let me get out of this, and let me go back to ShieldNation.com. And here we are. So everyone should be familiar with ShieldNation.com. Just an absolute tremendous resource. Folks, you should probably be at this site at least once a day. Okay? I know I am. I'm over here, what to bring to a presentation a lot. Online training, I'm always pulling maybe a document or something like that. New associate checklist, just a wealth of information. But for our purposes here for today's training, let's go right here to online training and documents. Okay? So go ahead and click that. I'm already logged in, so of course it brings me right to here. And I love this tab right here, documents. It's all ready to go. But what I want to do for today is go to this new associate training tab right there. And if you're brand new, this is exactly what you want to do. You literally could be up to speed here in a day or two about our training, our online training, absolutely convenient, okay? If you've been around and you haven't seen this yet, folks, make it a goal this weekend. This would be a good thing to do, because if you don't do it, I guarantee you're not teaching it, and I guarantee your team doesn't know to do this, okay? So what I want to do is let's go to here, this tab here, selling the service, because once you go here, you're going to actually have different modules then to sell the service. And that's what we are, folks. We're in the marketing business. We're in the sales and marketing business. Okay, if anyone ever asks you, what do you do for a living? I own a marketing company. How about yourself? It's very, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. We own a marketing company, and we don't have all the craziness of owning a typical business. All that other stuff is taken care of by the company. All we have to do is market our service. Okay, so again, I want to have you click Making a Presentation. And when you get to this tab here, you're going to see two videos, which we highly recommend. One is from our own Brielle Hoffman, the team's newest Performance Club qualifier, BMW recipient, executive director here now, probably 8, 9, 10 months. A video from her, a video training on how she does the consumer forward presentation. And the other video is from yours truly, okay? Now, I'm a little biased towards mine, of course, but absolutely, take a look at one or both. Go do a presentation, and then come back and take a look at one of our videos, folks, so that way you'll constantly keep improving yourself. But when you come here, what I want you to do is click this script, okay? Making the presentation script. And boom, here you go, folks. I want you to print out this script and start memorizing this. Start reading it. Okay, I remember early on in my career with Legal Shield, my wife and I would be driving. I'd be driving. She'd hold this script, and I literally would be saying this script to her, and she'd be correcting me, or, oh, you know what, you missed something, or something like that. Folks, the beauty of this script is you want your prospect to be thinking to himself or herself, is this simple? Does it work? And can I do it? Would I use it? And again, ladies and gentlemen, that's what your prospect is thinking, because you may win the battle, signing up a member, but you may lose the war, and the war is eventually having them become an associate with you. Okay, but if you keep it simple, okay, ask the 4 questions, share stories, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you have a large, large team. And what I want to share with you really is just some of the little 1%ers of using this script, okay? And probably the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that rapport building at the beginning. Okay, we know the old adage, what's that? People do business with people they like. People do business with people they trust. Okay? And believe me, I've worked on this part here. You know, sometimes I'm a little too excited. I get right into it. But I've got to learn to, you know, back off a little bit, learn about them, you know, find out what's going on in their world, and then incorporate Legal Shield. Legal Shield can help them make, you know, better decisions, live better, and such. Okay? Before I go into the script, again, I want to tell you what we're talking about. Let me just find it here. Here we go. We're going over this consumer folder presentation. Okay? Anytime we're doing a presentation, ladies and gentlemen, remember the concept of duplication? You always want to be pointing to a third-party tool. And that third-party tool could be a CD, it could be a DVD, it could be our consumer folder presentation, but you always want to make sure you're pointing to something so that you're not in the way. See, if you're in the way, then they're not going to see Legal Shield. Okay, so just kind of picture yourself standing in front of this presentation, blocking this presentation. Well, your prospect's not going to see this. They're not going to understand Legal Shield. But if you get yourself out of the way, and now you're pointing, you know, now you're using your pen and pointing and showing people how to worry less and live more, okay? Wadney can attest to this. Yesterday, when we were at lunch, I literally had this turned around so it was upside down for me. I had my pen, and I literally had Wadney read, you know, this presentation here at the very beginning, and he was laughing. I was laughing. That's the presentation, folks. You want to engage your prospect into learning about Legal Shield. You know, it's kind of like that spotlight. You want to make sure that spotlight's not on you, you know, 100%. You want to make sure the spotlight is on your guest. So again, this is what we're going to be going through when we talk about the script, okay, the four-question script. So let me come back. I'll kind of keep going back and forth between that and the script and that consumer folder, because again, at the beginning, we want to make sure we're setting the rapport. We want to make sure you're in a somewhat quiet environment. You know, you've got someone's undivided attention. Those are all just the 1%ers, okay? Again, here's the script here for those of you that are on the webinar. You're kind of reading along here, really what you want to make sure you have in your repertoire, okay, in your kind of script that you're sharing people what's going on. And again, I want you to print out these pages, have this in front of you here, because again, ladies and gentlemen, it's so important that you get this down. You know, Mr. Hoffman and myself, we see so many people do the spray and pray method. And folks, that doesn't work. Okay? In fact, if you want to have some fun, ask one of your associates to market you a membership. Okay? Hey, do me a favor, market me a membership. And folks, it's the most fascinating thing because they're all over the place. So why not instead have this highway that you stay on the highway, you literally ask 4 questions, you share stories, and you collect a decision. So it's up to you. You want to do it the hard way, the spray and pray method, or follow the highways to ask the 4 questions and see success a lot easier and a lot more fun. So again, here's the 4 questions. You know, question number 1, you know, over a year's time, would you agree to make a lot of major decisions, personally, professionally, financially? Okay? Again, you're getting your prospect in the conversation. The beauty of these 4 questions, folks, is pretty much every question is a yes response. Their head is bobbing up and down. You know, yes, I would agree to make major decisions that affect us, you know, personally, professionally, financially. Okay? That's our first area of coverage. You know, right there, folks. You can literally stop the presentation after just sharing this first area here of having unlimited telephone consultation and an unlimited number of issues right here. Okay? Second question is, have you ever been treated unfairly or overbilled for services? Again, folks, let that prospect answer that question. You know, get into it a little bit there with the prospect. You know, I actually want them to relive what's going on, you know, and that's the good thing about Legal Shield, folks, is we absolutely can help people out with pre-existing situations. You can't do that with most quote insurance products out there, but with Legal Shield, absolutely, we can at least get that person on the phone to just find out, where they stand. It may be a letter to answer that question, or it may fall under 25% discount if it is something a little bigger, a little hairier. So again, second question, have you ever been treated unfairly? Well, what did you do about it? Get into some of that pain with them. And really, what you want there, folks, is to ask them, well, why didn't you call an attorney while all this was going on? Okay, folks, because here's what happens. They're going to answer, it's just too expensive. Ding, ding, ding. That's what you're looking for. You want your guest, your prospect, to really sell themselves. Educate themselves on, oh my gosh, this is an absolute no-brainer. Okay? Very important, again, to share the stories. If you don't have stories about this service yet, no problem. Share our stories. Share your sponsor's story. Get a copy of a letter of someone using this service so that now you can share with people how this service works. What does it look like? Because it's a service. It's an intangible. And the purpose of sharing letters and, making people really see it for themselves is now this makes it a tangible. Okay, we live in a visual world. We live in an MTV world, I always say. And that's the beauty of then sharing the different, success stories that we have. Okay, third question. All right, we're almost pretty much halfway done the presentation here, folks. Have you ever signed a contract or document? And I always say, you wish you hadn't. I don't know if it's proper English, but that's exactly what I say here. And of course, here's the script. Of course, you have every time we buy or sell a house, rent an apartment, buy or lease a car, get a credit card, we sign contracts, don't we? Okay, don't we, folks? You want to make sure you're using tie downs. Does this sound good to you? Wouldn't you agree? Don't you? And I know it kind of sounds a little kind of foreign at the beginning, but I guarantee you start getting into the habit, the practice of using these tie downs, it absolutely is critical. Okay? So here, let's just stay here on this part. Whenever you ask a wealthy person to sign a contract, well, what do they say? What do they do? Well, let my attorney review it first. You want your prospect to say that. Do you think the wealthy got wealthy because they have access to top legal minds? How would you like to have the same privilege the wealthy have? Folks, that's a key line that you absolutely have to have in your presentation. Folks, everyone wants to be like the wealthy. Everyone wants to have the privilege of having access to a top attorney. Okay? So here we go. So next time someone says sign here, I always say don't do it. Pick up the phone, call the attorneys, have them review that contract or document. All right, so that way, you know what your rights are, you know what you're signing, and again, here's a tie down. Does that sound valuable? Okay, you'll always see the tie downs here. Again, that I think most people miss, but very, 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 very important. Okay, last but not least, fourth question here. There we go. Done on. When was the last time you updated your will? Okay, folks, I didn't say do you have a will, because most people will lie. They'll feel bad. We don't want them feeling bad. Instead, we want to phrase that question, when was the last time you updated your will? Folks, this is probably my #1 favorite question when I'm out there doing a presentation, because I know Consumer Reports says 7 out of 10 of us don't even have a will, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an $800, probably $1,000 in value right here that we can show somebody how to get their wills done. This is probably the #1 reason right here people sign up for our service. Okay? So let's go back to the consumer folder real quick here. And what we've done, okay, we're not even going to get into the first page here, although the first page is really important to have them kind of mark off some things that have been going on in their lives. But what I want to do is really just talk about the 4 questions, and bingo. All I'm doing right here is I'm right here. I'm asking these 4 questions right there, to that prospect. I'm sharing stories. And here now we're going to get into the trial close. Okay, you want to collect a little mini decision here. And the first thing you want to do is re-review the 4 areas again. Okay, so Mr. Prospect, Mrs. Prospect, again, if I were to review what we just talked about, unlimited telephone consultation on an unlimited number of issues. Okay, slow it down a little. Second, letters and phone calls made on your behalf. Third, contract and document review. And finally here, a will prepared for you and your family that includes a living will. Okay, drum roll, folks, because here is the trial close right here. Okay, again, would you, so here's what we did. We talked about the 4 areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then would you agree $29.90, $1 a day, okay, don't worry about the $1.19, $1 a day, is that an absolute no-brainer? Okay, again, your process is going to say yes. At that point, folks, you've already got your membership app, your enrollment form, I like to call it, already out there on the table. Fantastic. Where would you like your will questionnaire sent to? Look down and start writing the member's address. That's it, folks. They've just have said, yes, I would like unlimited telephone consultation. Yes, I'd like letters and phone calls made on my behalf. Yes, I'd like contracts and document review. Yes, I'd like to have my will prepared. Yes, $1 a day is an absolute no-brainer. That's it, folks. That's it. That's our service. I always like to remind them it's month to month. There's no long-term commitment. This is not Verizon. I always make a joke. We're not going to hold your contract hostage for the next 2 years. Okay? It's month to month, folks. Try us out. And again, that's our 4 questions. So the importance here is I really want to make sure you understand a little bit more of the tie down, sharing some of those, wouldn't you agree, doesn't this sound good, some of those tie downs at the very, very end of a statement, and then the importance of sharing stories, making it, visual, and then again, doing that trial close. So let's go back to our form, because what you also want to do again is just now let them know this is all gravy, this is all icing on the cake, because we're also going to help protect you against moving traffic violations. Again, there's a 15-day wait on this part. We don't want to overpromise, folks. We always want to underpromise and overdeliver. Okay, so I have a story there that I share about moving traffic violations. Trial defense, I spend probably 5 seconds on that. We'll help protect you against lawsuits, IRS audit, same thing. I probably just spend 5 seconds. Real quickly, I say, are we going to cover everything for the $29.90? No. Here's where the 25% preferred member discount kicks in. Okay. If you've got a $4,000 issue, just by being a member of Legal Shield, you now just saved $1,000. That's cool, folks, just by having our service. Last but not least here for the legal, we're also going to help protect not only you but your whole family 24 hours. Here's where I write literally 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. right here in the margin. Okay, because wouldn't you agree? That's a tie down, by the way. That sometimes the crazy stuff happens after hours on the weekends. Well, fantastic. Again, tap your app, show people where now they can call their attorney 24 hours a day for emergencies. Okay, I always make a joke. If it's a divorce, something like that, that's going to have to wait till the next day. Again, on the bottom, I love this. Who's all covered? The whole entire family's covered. You do want to make sure you change the 21 to 26 if your version doesn't have that correction. But again, Waji's a perfect example. My new associate, my new member, he's got children. They're going to school. Fantastic. One price point. His whole entire family's covered, especially his children. And here's what I like to say, ladies and gentlemen. I once learned this out of training. You probably know what you're doing 24 hours a day, and your kids are probably great kids, but you know what they're doing 24 hours a day. Wouldn't it be nice to make sure they have access to their attorney? God forbid they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay? So again, folks, that's what this service is. It's peace of mind. Okay? Again, we talk about the identity theft really, really quick. Again, icing on the cake. It's part of the $29.90. Okay? A big aha here, folks, as I wrap up here, and start figuring out, I'm going to actually come out to you. I'd love to hear your success stories of using the consumer folder. Love to hear what you're doing as far as dreams and goals to help prepare you to get out there and do the deal. But again, $29.90. We bundle the two services together. Okay, you didn't hear me separate them out. For $30, folks, $1 a day. Break it down to the simplistic. $1 a day. If we go meet with a small business person, we're still going to do the same presentation. I'm still going to start with consumer, but I'm then going to take the flat sheet, the small business flat sheet, and pop it right on top of this, and now tell Mr. Business Owner, Mrs. Business Owner, we're also going to be able to protect your business, and I'm going to say it's about $3 a day. Okay, a little less than $100, $90 or something, about $3 a day. I'm going to break it down to the stupid. Really, that's a cup of coffee a day, and we can protect not only your business but your whole entire family. So again, folks, if this consumer folder is kind of foreign to you, you've never heard of it, you don't practice it, you can either do the spray and pray method, or please, we highly recommend start practicing this. It's going to take a little bit of practice. You'll get it down. I guarantee it. You can actually order this, order these consumer folders by going to the ShieldNation site, and there's actually a store tab, which hopefully I can get to, right here at the very, very last tab, and you literally can order your consumer folders right here. Okay, folks, don't cheapen this thing out. Don't try to make black and white copies. Do something stupid. You want to have a very professional presentation, and that's exactly what these consumer folders are. It's literally taken us probably 3 years to put this together. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a place. It's professional. It's duplicatable. Ding, ding, ding. And that's why we really want to make sure you understand the psychology of using this service. Okay? So real quickly here as we wrap up, let's go through. Let me see where we're at. Okay, so we talked about that. Okay, again, is Shield Team 10 possible for you? Absolutely. Absolutely, folks, but you've got to schedule it. Okay, you've got to make sure it's in your weekly calendar there. What's one of the best tools? It's our PDA form. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how busy people do our business. You simply lay out your life here, especially if you're working, you're doing the 9 to 5, no problem. Put all that in there, and I guarantee you're going to be left with all sorts of time slots, a half hour here, an hour here. Well, again, remember our chart? How do you fit Legal Shield into your already busy schedule? Well, it's actually quite simple. You use that PDA, ladies and gentlemen, and here's where you fit Legal Shield into your business. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do real quick here as we wrap up is I'd love to have you raise your hand. We've got just a record number. So excited to see all the folks on here live. Okay? And then if you're joining us for the playback, congratulations to you too. 24-hour playback that's available there at ShieldNation. So go ahead and raise your hand. Love to hear a success story of how you're using, the consumer folder, maybe a tip or two that you've figured out. Love to hear that. That's what this is all about as far as masterminding. And, just really love to share how things are going. So let's go out to, looks like it's Mark. Mark, where are you calling from? And love to hear your thoughts. Hey, Mark, your line is unmuted. Are you out there? Right. Hey, Mark, we'll come back to you. Let's go to Mr. Marv Worthy. Hang on, Marv. Let me figure this out. Here we go. Hey, Marv, can you hear me?
Yes, Bob. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Boy, I just got freaked out that I'm like, man, I hope I'm not muted this whole time.
No, you did a wonderful job, first and foremost. Excellent job. I just wanted to share two things that you shared that I thought was pretty strong. And one, in regard to the consumer folder. Since 2012, I've used nothing but the consumer folder. Bob, I use it for one-on-one meetings with individuals. I use it for business owners. I do it when I do a group enrollment. I use the consumer folder. And I now understand a little bit more as you spoke about the psychology of what was created and the time it took to create it. It makes pretty clear sense to me now why the consumer folder is so powerful. If I can just get everyone in my team to believe in the consumer folder, the success that they would experience would be absolutely amazing. And I hope that some of my team members are on the call today because you did such a phenomenal job reinforcing the power of the consumer folder. Secondly, Bob, is the no, N-O versus K-N-O-W. And I'll give you a quick example, Bob, and I'll give it back to you. I was in the gym, and someone had a display, and I walked up to them to find out what they were doing. I said, "Are you going to take a break?" She said, "I'm taking a break now." I said, "I'd like to share something with you. Take about 15 minutes. She said, "Sure." So I set her down. I brought out the consumer folder. As I began to talk about it, she goes, "Is this legal, Shield?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not interested." I said, "You know what? We've already agreed to 15 minutes. Let's just do the 15 minutes. Well, as I'm about to close out the presentation, she says, "Could you give me a second?" I said, "What's the matter?" She goes, "I need to go to my car." I said, "For what?" "To get my wallet." "Well, okay, what's going on?" "I need to get my credit card because I'm getting the service." She told me no initially, Bob. She said, "No, I'm not interested. I'm telling you now."
Wow.
It's because she didn't K-N-O-W. And
right.
once she K-N-O-W'd, right, and the fact that she may have heard of Legal Shield, Bob, but she never had a professional presentation. And she never had a professional presentation that was so simple, so to the point, and that because I asked those 4 questions, she decided to go from N-O to K-N-O-W to make a decision to protect herself and her family. So I'll give it back to you, Bob.
I love it, Marv. I love it. The old line is there's always a sale being made. Are you selling them, or is this gal in this particular situation, is she selling you? And I love the posture, Marv. I love that you're a mission marketer. You're not a commission marketer. You understand that everyone has got to hear about this service. And where does that come from, folks? Again, it's using this service. It's hanging around, the successful people. It's gonna, when this business goes from your head to your heart, it's all over. I guarantee it. Because the negative dream stealers, the negative nannies out there, they don't, like a little flea. You just kind of flick them off. So thank you so much for sharing. Congratulations on your success. And consumer folder, folks, it's the name of the game. I tell you, it really, really will help your business. It's going to take a little bit, like anything else. Tying your shoes, riding a bike. It took a little bit to get down. A consumer folder will do the exact same thing. But the key is go back to those videos once you go do a presentation, and I guarantee that's going to help you. In fact, let's go out to Steve Hales. Steve, I think that's exactly what you did early on when you were kind of getting the consumer folder under your belt, and love to hear from you.
Absolutely, Mr. Cohen. Great job, like Marv said. You're doing a phenomenal job, and the reason why I've been successful with the consumer folder, part of the reason is you and your presentations, your example to us, the whole tell me part, show me part is right here. I just wanted to talk for 1 second on the inoculations of being told no. And in my mind, when you were talking about that, I was thinking about Apple. I was thinking about iPhones. Did Apple Corporation, did some people say, well, I like my Android. I really don't want an Apple phone. Did Apple say, you know what, this doesn't work. Let's quit. Let's quit. Right. We've invested all this money, all this research to manufacture these phones. Let's just quit. 50% of the people we talked to said no, or 40% said no. No, because they realize that some people don't want it. Some people just want what they have already. So in the beginning, for me, one of the best things my sponsor did was give me a Jim Rohn CD, and Jim Rohn talks about planting seeds and being in the field, and I knew that every presentation I did, I was just planting a seed. I was branding myself as Legal Shield in a professional manner, and it's gotten to the point, Bob, that over the years, I've had people come back to me that said no before, and just from staying top of mind, they've gone ahead and signed up for the service. I actually, this week, because of Shield Team 10, I'm trying to follow that model and schedule at least 5 appointments a week. Not necessarily 1 a day because my schedule doesn't allow for that, but at least 5 a week. And this week so far, we protected 3 families and 1 business because we had 5 appointments scheduled. And one person that he had, his credit card had expired, never got a chance to call and give them the new information. I think it expired in December or November. Well, because I'm top of mind with him, I saw him on yesterday, matter of fact, and we called him into member services, and he reactivated his membership just because I'm top of mind, and I'm trying to brand myself. And what Marv said about professional presentations, I've got a lot of people, a lot of memberships where they've heard of Legal Shield, and somebody just kind of does this spray and pray method like you talk about, and they don't really understand what it is, what Legal Shield actually is and what it can do for you. So I give them the consumer folder presentation. I've learned key phrases in that, like you said about tips, things like, would you feel more confident signing that contract if you knew for sure that all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed in your favor? If it was a fair contract, would you feel more confident with that? Would you be more at ease knowing that if your teenage driver gets a speeding ticket, that you can have an attorney go to court on your behalf? So just little phrases like that. How did it, last time you were treated unfairly, how did it make you feel?
Sure.
You don't have to tell me what happened, but how did it make you feel? What'd you do about it? Would you feel better? Would you feel more confident? Would things maybe go your way if you had an attorney write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf? It's real simple. It's a conversation. So that, Mr. Cohen, I encourage everyone to practice, do this over and over again, brand yourself as a professional, and success will come your way. And by the way, my BMW is getting delivered today.
Ooh, all right, I want to see a picture of that. Put that on Facebook. And Steve,
Absolutely.
Real quick, you got to share with everybody, your what, probably 25, 30 years of sales background. Would you share your background with everybody?
My background is a factory worker. I had never done sales before I started with Legal Shield, and this consumer folder is just so simple. I don't have to worry about, if they're a business owner, I don't have to stress about, okay, what materials do I need to present to them to make them understand the business plan. I present the consumer folder because everybody cares about their family first. Let's go ahead and protect your family first. If that makes sense, does it make sense to have an attorney write collection letters on your behalf? Does it make sense to have an attorney review your business contracts for you? Absolutely. Okay, let's go ahead and get that taken care of as well. So,
does that make sense? I love it. That's great, great tie down. And folks, you hear what's going on here? Steve's not attached to the outcome, okay? NATO, write that down if you haven't had that in your notes. NATO, not attached to outcome, okay? He's not. He's out there educating. He's passionate. He's practiced this consumer folder. And guess what? He's having fun. And that's what we want everyone to be doing out there. So here's your kind of action steps here, ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up the webinar is, again, go to ShieldNation.com. Start going through the training modules if you haven't ever done that. Go order your ShieldNation, the consumer folder brochures there, the folders. Order those. Get those. Let's see, what else? Just start practicing. Watch the videos. Watch Brielle. Watch her do it. Watch me do it. And then the most important thing is, let's set some appointments. Let's pick up the phone. Who's in your cell phone? It's very simple. Ask for help. Hey, I started a new business, or can we get together? Can I run something by you? Okay, we've got to get in front of the people, and let's get you into Shield Team 10, so that way you're on your way to Executive Director, you're on your way to Platinum, you're on your way to just really an unbelievable lifestyle that this company can deliver for you. So
hey, Bob,
thanks so much,
one more thing quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So my very first appointment, I read this script word for word, to my mother-in-law. When I asked for the appointment, she said, "I'm not buying nothing." That was her exact words. I said, "That's fine. I really do honestly just need to learn this presentation." I read the script word for word, asked her the questions. About halfway through, she said, "You know what? I think I'm going to get that." And she's had her membership for over 2 years now.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Absolutely. Ask people for help. Hey, can I practice this on you? Boy, that one works all day long. Can I practice this presentation on you? Okay. Last but not least, I want to make sure that you also have as part of your arsenal here is that recommendation form that is so effective for referrals. Last week we learned about really our goal when we're out there sharing a presentation is for that person to become a member, an associate, or ask for referrals. Okay? Not a big deal, and that form will absolutely help you make that a little simpler, a little easier to get those referrals. So do make sure you go to ShieldNation.com and print out those forms and have them in your presentation. So again, thanks everybody. Have an absolutely amazing rest of the weekend, the week, the month, and we'll see you here next week for another just amazing webinar training. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.